Porsche drunk driving case. Police investigations have revealed that on the day when blood samples were swapped, 2 luxury cars were spotted outside the Sassoon Hospital, seemingly only deepening the undergoing mystery right now that we've been discussing. We'll just go over to our colleague Yesha to understand more. Yesha, just explain to our audiences, this is the day that the blood samples were swapped. Police investigations are now revealing a second luxury car was spotted at the Sassoon General Hospital. We'll go over to Yesha in a second. But the big question was, of course, around whether the mother and the grandfather of the 17-year-old accused, who is the key accused in this case, were in one car or not. Now, why that matters, of course, is to establish the sequence of events that led to that blood sample being swapped. We'll go over to our colleague Yesha just to understand a little bit more in terms of context here. Yesha, we're just telling our audiences now 2 cars spotted. We knew about one, that second one now being confirmed. But why does that matter, Yesha, to the sequence of events? Just break that down to our audiences.
So, Toya, when we speak of these 2 cars, of course, the CCTV footage earlier had showed that there were several people who were present at Sassoon Hospital when tampering of evidences took place. Now, here, cops need to understand as to who all were involved, how was the monetary transaction made, on whose influence did these doctors, in fact, tamper with evidences, which is where now there were the other CCTV footage is that of outside the hospital has also been taken by the cops, which is where now 2 cars have been spotted. One, of course, was where the mother and the grandfather of the accused stepped out. In fact, in this very case, when earlier investigation was found, it was confirmed that it was the mother who had given her blood samples so that it could be replaced with that of the accused. Now, there are 2 people who've been arrested in this case as well, apart from the 2 vehicles that have been found. One, of course, these 2 people are known to be key in tampering of evidences and also the monetary transaction of rupees 3 lakh, which is where the role of these 2 people is something that the cops are investigating. Apart from that, they are also trying to understand whether these people came in the same car that's been spotted. In fact, these 2, both the cars that have been spotted outside Sassoon Hospital were luxury cars, and which is where now cops are trying to understand as to who, on whose instructions were these 2 people working. So this is a key aspect that understand crash. These 2 people who've been arrested have also been sent to police custody. Apart from that, the doctors and the technicians, they are also in the police custody, and so are parents of the accused. All of these people have been sent to police custody, particularly in the case pertaining to tampering of evidences and swapping of blood samples.
Let me just remind our audiences, Yasha, stay with us. Let me just remind our audiences, 2 IT professionals were killed in the early hours of May 19th in Kalyani Nagar of Maharashtra's Pune. This is after a Porsche, and this is the visuals you're looking at right now. It allegedly was driven by the juvenile in question, and it rammed into the 2-wheeler that these 2 IT professionals were sitting on. Police are saying the juvenile was under the influence of alcohol at the time. Yasha, just tell our audiences, a hearing took place in the first half of yesterday, in which I believe the board approved the family's plea allowing the relatives to meet the accused. Is that accurate?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the Pune police had moved an application stating that the bail of the juvenile should not be approved. His custody ended with the Juvenile Justice Board yesterday, which is where cops had asked for his further remand, particularly on the grounds that when it's a juvenile accused, there has to be a family member who can take responsibility for the accused. But here all his family members are behind bars, which is why an application was moved by the family members of the accused asking for relatives to be given permission to meet the accused, which is where today for an hour what the permission has been granted for one of the relatives, either an aunt or an uncle, to go and meet the accused in this case. But however, what's important to note is that as a part of the further investigation in this case, cops would want to in fact question the accused further, because in the first round of questioning, when questions were asked to the accused, he did not really cooperate with the cops for the investigation. In fact, when asked about the 48,000 bill, he said that there are several times when his bill goes up to more than that. In fact, when he spoke to cops asking about whether he was behind the wheels, whether he was drunk driving, he's admitted that he was under the influence of alcohol and does not remember anything that happened that night.
Yasha, thank you for providing us with that context. This story, of course, remains on top of the nation's mind. For now, we are drawing our show to a close. Thank you for staying with us through the morning news show. Next, my colleague Akanksha takes over at 10 a.m.